So we're going to continue here. The stench is abhorrent. It's disgusting. So after the banging on my door last night, this is how they work together. The person and a few other people, after talking to the people downstairs, went upstairs and continued to bang around. It's intimidating, of course, and frightening as a woman alone. I'm 60 years old at this point, but this is how these men work together. Imagine a group of men. And this has gone on repeatedly. I have a wicked headache. I know not to go in the bathroom because the smells in the bathroom were pretty bad last night. And I believe this is from next door. Because as soon as I wake up after, being tortured all night with this heat thing, this man next door walks in front of the door and starts making these gagging noises. He's done this a long time. Since I moved in here, he's followed me around the community. He constantly smokes, and he'll stand in front of the door, and he makes these noises. I just shut my door. Here, you just heard that because this goes on all night long, all day, and it's like every 2 or 3 hours. So this is what you deal with here with these men. I would have opened the door and I would have said, this needs to stop. I have done nothing to these people here, but I am a woman alone. I don't need to be arrested because they'll cry they've been assaulted or something. I've had people throw themselves on the ground and pretend that I'm assaulted, pretend that they're assaulted. This is what goes on here. They'll pretend that you're the aggressor. It's called Darville. Police know about this, and they do it all the time, okay? So this Mr. Fred Winters is a cop. I believe he's a cop. His father was a cop, so I believe maybe he's involved with police work. So he's done stuff like this. They'll turn things around on you. They know about Darville. They know about this stuff. And this has gone on. It went on with the police in Amsterdam. I was sexually assaulted by a police officer. He turns around and says I'm harassing him. Okay, so there's a pattern here. Up to the lake, there's a man, I find out 20 years later, he works for the police. Okay, he spent 20 years terrorizing me with his lawnmower, breaking things, stealing things. His family would come up. There would be so many people and they would ignore me. They would talk about me. My ex-husband would often say, I'd be in my lake house crying and writing all down. And he would say, it'll work out. Don't worry. They're not that bad. The same kind of gaslighting that you get with these sorts of, with these men that don't leave you alone, including my ex-husband. He was friends behind my back with all these people. He would sit out on the deck, drink his beer. I'd be inside crying, and he convinced me that these neighbors weren't so bad. Meanwhile, behind my back, he was out there working standing around the tractor, talking, this kind of thing, drinking. All these women would be lined up on the beach. I believe they were either trans or homosexual. So this is what was going on. And the same thing next door. And the same thing when I came to Albany. I moved up into the Albany State Towers. My roommate was involved, once again, with police officers. Oh, go to the Lark Tavern. I go to the Lark Tavern. It was all police officers. A couple months later, I said, I don't want to date a police officer. Okay, I was asked repeatedly. A couple months later, I meet Mr. Winters and the harassment starts. He's involved with my half family. Okay, so you see the theme here with police officers, okay? The last party I went to, my ex-husband, come up to the lake. My friends are getting together. Find out the guy's a police officer. Okay, so this has gone on repeatedly. Now, the problem with this interim police chief is we talk about some of these things, and again, I just woke up, so I don't feel well. I got a splitting headache, the smells, they harass you like this, and they know how not to get caught. Okay, so I can get into more of that because this has gone on repeatedly. This is the thing with these kind of men. So 40 years ago, I date this guy, didn't want to. He ended up cheating on me. I find out a bunch of things later on, so I go about my business. So here we are 40 years later, and I got to still deal with this person. Okay, so the interim police chief, they just had a press conference. I posted on my communicate page. They gloss over domestic violence. It's systemic. Okay? It's systemic. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, the first thing we can do is take care of it in your own ranks. Because if you can't deal with your own attitude toward women and your own abusive tendencies and your own stalking, you're not going to be able to respond to it in the public. So we'll continue to talk about police officers and domestic abuse with them. Be safe.